Waterwight, Book 1, Chapter 11. Pleased to meet you, Chimney Maximilian McDade, said Celeste. That's certainly a curious name. Yup, said the boy. People said my parents were peculiar, but I just remember they were fun. Not like my sister. She's no fun at all. Is that your frog? I've never seen one so big. Are those wings? Chimney walked toward Orville, who looked at Celeste and croaked. She got the message. She had grown used to talking with her green friend these last couple of days, but it was something she couldn't do in the presence of humans. At least, not yet. Yeah, she said, and he's kind of shy, so don't touch him or he'll get scared, okay? Oh, okay. The boy was clearly disappointed. He stopped advancing on Orville, but couldn't stop staring at the shimmering wings, brilliant still in the settling darkness. So where'd you guys come from? Celeste paused to come up with an answer. Did he know about the side she had just come from? And if so, would he believe she'd been able to cross the dangerous water? Could she get away with pretending she was from one of the other communities on this side? Orville had told her the survivors were afraid of exploring. Pretty far away, she said, and we're really tired. What are you doing out alone this late? She hoped to divert his attention. It worked. Gathering, he said. Dark's the best time to gather, 'cause they come out then. What comes out? Celeste looked around the dusky landscape. Come here, he said, walking back to the bushes. In his haste to hide from the strangers, he had dropped a bag nearly as big as he was. He pulled it from the bushes and opened it for Celeste to see, letting out another little squeak in the process. Go ahead, take one, he told her. Celeste peeked into the bag. Yikes! She screamed, jumping back. The boy laughed. Don't be such a scaredy cat, he said, scrunching up his face again. They just look like snakes. They're really good. Here. He pulled one of the shiny, dark objects from the bag and waved it at her. Celeste was slow to accept the offering, but curiosity got the better of her, and she took it from him. But what is it? I've never seen anything like it. She examined the object more closely. Orville hopped to her side. I don't know, he said. We just eat 'em. He craned his neck to the side at an odd angle, then pulled his own snake-like object from the bag. We call 'em snoodles. He burst into giggles again, infecting Celeste with the giggles as well. Are you okay? She asked, concerned about the unusual physical gestures he continued to exhibit. She wondered if he'd hurt himself when he fell into the bushes. What you mean? He twisted the object as if wringing out a wet towel to remove its outer skin, revealing a translucent golden core. He chomped off the end and waited for her response. I mean, did you hurt your neck when you fell? She removed the outer skin of her snoodle, as he had done, and bit into the bizarre food. She was pleasantly surprised by its nutty, fruity flavor. Nah, he said. He sounded embarrassed. It's just what I do. Can't help it. Just don't stare at me, okay? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. She was embarrassed. She already liked the quirky little boy and didn't want to alienate him. I just wanted to make sure you're okay, okay? Okay, he said, digging the toe of his shoe into the dirt. They're really good, huh? Really good. Celeste finished her snoodle after offering a portion to Orville. You said they only come out at night? Where do you find them? She was bursting with questions, but didn't want to overwhelm the boy. She also hoped she wouldn't have to spend another night in the open. They stay in the ground all day, kind of rolled up in a ball so you can't see them, and at night they start to poke out. That's when I find them. I was the first one to eat them. Everybody else was too chicken. Lots of weird things grow now, but nobody knows if they're good or bad, but I can tell. That's a really valuable skill. Did you learn it at school? We don't have schools no more, silly, Chimney responded with surprise. Oh, I just thought you might still have one. Celeste wondered what story she would weave next. I taught at our school before the big water got too close and we all had to leave. She thought it was a good explanation for why they were traveling. The big water? You mean the ooze? Yes, the ooze. Hey, do you think I could teach in your village? I can speak some different languages and I like kids. I don't know, he shrugged. You'll have to ask my sister. She's in charge of stuff. Maybe, since we have some kids who don't talk English very good. He looked over his shoulder towards home. They can't speak it very well, she said, trying out her teacher voice. It's getting pretty dark, Chimney. Shouldn't you be getting home soon? The word home caused her heart to skip a beat. Yeah, I guess so, but where'll you sleep tonight? He stared at the strange green creature by Celeste's side. And what about him? The only animals we have are Teresa's doves, and they take care of themselves. Oh, is Teresa your sister? Celeste was excited to think the doves might be the same ones that had led her across the big water, or the ooze, as they called it on this side. I wish, he said, kicking the dirt again. Teresa's our grower. Hey, I really like your scarf. Is it green? Because green's my favorite color. Chimney squinted in the growing darkness. Celeste had forgotten about the long silk scarf hanging down her back, tangled in her dirty, wind-swept mane. Yes, it's green. It belonged to my mother. She let me wear it for dress-up the day. She paused, the words caught in her throat, and then changed the subject. Chimney, will your sister, what's her name, let us stay for a night? Orville's a really good hunter, and since he can fly a little bit, maybe he can get to places your hunters can't. She remembered Orville's advice about offering only one thing and didn't want to expose his full capabilities. Guess we could ask. He strained his neck again. But I gotta warn you, Blanche can be mean sometimes. He pointed to the frog again. Maybe he can help me find more food. Then maybe my sister won't be so naggy all the time. Don't be out too late, Chim. Don't eat anything new, Chim. Watch out for dangerous animals, Chim. She's so bossy. Celeste laughed at his impersonation. Suppose we should head back. Just stay with me and you should be okay. The boy shouldered his bag of snoodles and started leading the way south. Without thinking, Celeste leapt from the ground to fly, but Orville reacted with lightning speed. He launched his tongue to grab around her ankle, and she fell to the ground, startled. Chimney turned around to see her lying face down in the dust. You okay? Gotta be careful, especially at night, he said matter-of-factly. Lots of dead roots sticking up all over the place. Yeah, I'm fine. She glanced back at Orville with a look that said both thanks and thanks a lot. She brushed herself off. I'll be more careful. I hope you can stay. Chimney was animated. Hope she lets me take your frog. What's his name? Gathering. I want to see him fly. Can he fly right now? Maybe he can get there before we do. No, that wouldn't be a good idea. He should stay with us. Celeste chuckled at Chimney's string of dialogue and wondered if all 10-year-old boys spoke that way. You're right. Orville should stay close by. Maybe tomorrow he'll have more energy to fly. When the three travelers reached the top of the small hilltop, Celeste was surprised to see the little village below was completely dark. Is everyone asleep? She asked in a whisper, even though they were a distance away. Nah, everyone's probably just getting ready for ritual. Oh, what's the ritual here? She made it sound as if there was an evening ritual in her old community. I've heard everyone does something a little different. Can't be too different. You know, stand around the pond and chant Odin's name about 27 million times, even though it never works. Yeah, right. Celeste decided not to question further. She didn't want to expose her ignorance of life on this side. As they walked down the gentle hill, Celeste could make out the shapes of people leaving their houses and walking toward a nearby pond. With both apprehension and excitement, She stepped up the pace. Soon she would know whether or not she'd have a new home. It took everything in her power to keep her feet on the ground. That ends chapter 11 of book 1.